When I realized the truths I've discussed over the last couple of years about alcohol, I made a life-changing decision. I stopped drinking completely. Now, I consider myself lucky. Lucky that I wasn't addicted when I made this choice and that I recognized these issues with alcohol ahead of time. But I also understand the risks. There's no guarantee that alcohol won't come back into my life. That's why I need to stay vigilant, to maintain control and avoid drinking even a single drop. You see, even if I have the strength to stay away from alcohol for years, there's still a risk. A risk that one day, I might decide to indulge in a single drink. And what if that leads to controlled consumption? What if it spirals into addiction? I'm simply not ready to take that risk. When I started drinking, I can't say I was fully aware of the consequences that could follow. However, I had witnessed the darker side of alcohol through my family. One close relative comes to mind. He was young, with a good life ahead of him. Unfortunately, he fell into heavy drinking. He didn't have to work for his income, he inherited ancestral farmland, which provided for him. His brothers handled the work while he enjoyed the profits, indulging in alcohol instead of contributing. His family decided not to marry him off, which perhaps saved a potential spouse and children from a troubled life. But tragically, he became addicted, suffering from liver failure and other medical complications, passing away at a young age. Then there's another case I remember, less personal but impactful. A well-educated businessman with a thriving company. Everything seemed perfect. But as life does, it threw him some curveballs, and he turned to alcohol for solace. At first, his drinking was manageable, but soon it escalated. Despite his wealth and the ability to afford any medical treatment, he faced the consequences of alcohol abuse. His liver failed, and after attempting a transplant, he sadly passed away. It was heartbreaking to see a life that had so much promise end so abruptly. These stories serve as a reminder. Alcohol can be a deceptive friend. It can seem harmless at first, but it has the potential to wreak havoc on lives. I share these stories not to scare you but to highlight the reality of addiction. We often think, it won't happen to me, but how often have we heard that very phrase before tragedy strikes? So, if you're someone who thinks you are in control of your alcohol consumption, I urge you to reflect deeply. Consider the lives of those around you, and remember that knowledge is power. We can all make informed choices about our relationship with alcohol. Let's prioritize our health and well-being together.